Welcome back. This might be the most ridiculous idea I've ever had for a video. And I've had some ridiculous ideas for videos. So the idea of a Christmas themed Fast and the Furious movie, I couldn't let it go. It stuck with me last night. It has stuck with me this morning while I'm making hockey videos, and hockey videos are kind of the bread and butter for me, but I have to. So I bring to you the Frost and the Flurrious, and I would like to apologize for the title. I'd like to apologize for the rabbit hole we're about to go down. It's really important. This is done right. So it has to be Vin Diesel as Dominic Toretto as Santa Claus. So he has to be Dominic Toretto as Santa Claus for this to work, or else the whole thing's going to be stupid. Michelle Rodriguez as Letty Ortiz as Mrs. Claus. So she has to be Letty as Mrs. Claus. So basically, they're wearing the hats. Sometimes he has a beard, sometimes he doesn't. It would not be explained. Maybe after an explosion, the beard's gone because it burns off and it comes back. That kind of thing, right? But there will be a lot of explosions. So maybe it's better to have him have the beard at the start, have the beard at the end, and just lose the beard during the. And it needs to be the fakest looking beard ever, or again, the movie's gonna be stupid. So you also have Tyrese Gibson, and so his character Roman Pierce, I made him the head elf. So he's there as support. He's there to say things like "hot damn," "oh yeah, there it is." Like he is there for the exclamation marks, because I don't know if people notice or not, but Vin Diesel at this point is known mostly for "I am Groot," and that being the line. But yeah, and then Ludacris as Tej Parker as Frosty the Snowman. So I figured, we need a Frosty the Snowman. Why not Luda? So in the middle of the movie, for no reason at all, Luda just raps. You have a musical number, Ludacris, and you could have Vin Diesel and Michelle Rodriguez off to the side, paying no attention to it whatsoever. Big musical number, and they're just talking or they're just looking through their phones. Whatever you want to do, just make sure that Dominic and Letty, or Mr. and Mrs. Claus, look as bored as possible. It's important to get that detail right, or again, the movie's going to end up stupid. Now, you need to have a villain, and I thought, I could have the villain be somebody that's already in the series, but why? I thought like Charlize Theron, but why? So Randy Orton, I think, should be in here as the special guest as Krampus. Can Krampus deliver an RKO? I mean, the lines really deliver themselves, although I think the best tagline would be "This movie slays." Right underneath SLEIGHS, "This movie slays." And the poster can be like, Dom and Letty back to back, arms crossed, and you could have guns all over, but they'd be like candy cane guns, and you could have just various people in the background, even actors that aren't in the movie you could put on the poster, because Christmas, so you never know, magic. So yeah, the tagline, "This movie slays," and so Krampus is just RKOing as many children as possible before Christmas, and it's up to Vin Toretto's Claus to go around the world with his rocket sleigh, because it has to be a rocket sleigh. You have to have Nas in it as well. So just like majorly charged up, and that's where Tyrese is the head elf, is the guy who's juicing up the sleigh. So when it flies off, he's like, "Yeah, man, that's it right there. That's it. You go get him, Mr. Claus." So yeah. So Krampus is trying to RKO as many children as possible around the world, and so he's gonna have to do it quickly. Like Krampus would have to be doing, so you've got a world of billions, and not all kids believe in Santa Claus. So, I mean, he's going to have to be RKOing multiple children per second. But does anybody want to bet against Randy Orton doing that? I know I don't, or else there'll be an RKO on me out of nowhere. Now, it's important to have John Cena and The Rock in this, and I understand that because star power, right? And you can't get to a $250 million budget without big stars. You can't make it so your movie won't make any money without big stars. And so I figure John Cena can be the Easter Bunny, and The Rock can be The Rock. Because The Rock is The Rock is The Rock. No matter how many movies I see him in, I'm still like, it's The Rock. It's The Rock. That's why I like the whole idea of him being a bad guy. He's The Rock. It didn't work in wrestling. It's not going to work on a movie because he's The Rock. Oh, we're supposed to hate him, but he's The Rock. So you get what you get, and so I can't. I had the idea of, well, he could be the Tooth Fairy. He's done that before. He's still the Rock. He's still the Rock. And so, yeah, the Easter Bunny, you could have Cena come out and have the ears and have his face all painted up, and the Rock just comes out wearing, basically Rock gear and maybe, a Rock T-shirt. Can you smell what Santa's been cooking? Something like that. And just be the Rock. And you'd have to have a line at some point where Cena looks at him and goes, you're not what you're not a care. I had to do this. Why didn't you have to do this? Rock would be like, I'm the Rock. I'm the Rock. You could even add, I'm the Rock, baby. And then out of nowhere, the head elf comes in. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Because that's kind of Tyrese. From what I've seen of Fast and the Furious, they don't give him a lot to work with. They don't give a lot of these people much to work with because it's really about going from explosion to explosion. Now, how do you get explosions with Krampus delivering RKOs? Well, because Vin Diesel's going to chase him and there's going to be explosions. I figure since this is global, you can blow up the Eiffel Tower. You could do it in both Paris and then in Las Vegas because why not? This should end on the Strip. I'm just going to say it should end on the Las Vegas Strip. You could have them like an F1 race is taking place on Christmas Eve for no reason in Las Vegas, or there's F1 races everywhere they go. That's even better. Or just races, right? Everywhere they go, there's a car race on Christmas Eve because it's been decided it's car racing day. And of course, all of the races would be won by Santa Claus, Dominic Toretto, with his rocket sleigh. Because there wouldn't be anything in the rules that a rocket sleigh can't win the race. So there you go. And maybe Krampus at some point is like, "Yo, Santa," which like Randy Orton totally be like, "Yo, Santa, what say you and I have a race here on this track, and whoever wins the race gets to win Christmas." So basically, you've got either Santa Claus is giving presents to all the kids around the world forever, right? Because that's his job eternally, or Krampus gets to RKO all of the kids every Christmas forever. So there's a lot on the line here. Um, just I it's a terrible mental image, and yet it's hilarious at the same time. So yeah, that's what's on the line, and then you could have like Krampus has his own sleigh. This is where you could have cameos. Like I know the one cameo you need is Jack Frost. You have to have Jack Frost in the movie, and I'm like, why not Chris Pratt? Chris Pratt's in everything, so why not Chris Pratt? He works. He absolutely works. I'd like to say too, it's a shame Gilbert Gottfried is no longer with us because he belongs in this. This deserves to have Gilbert Gottfried in it somewhere. Bobcat Goldthwait's still around, isn't he? Can we get him in this somehow? Just some kind of shrieking snowman kind of thing. But anyways, yeah. So cameo by Chris Pratt as Jack Frost. I thought about Michael Keaton as Jack Frost because that Jack Frost movie was depressing. So at any rate, yeah, he's in there as Jack Frost. He's not doing anything evil or anything. He's just sort of, hey, yo, Jack Frost, and he's just putting frost everywhere. And then like somebody has to slip on the ice as a result of the frost, and then Chris Pratt voice as Jack Frost, like I had nothing to do with that, nothing. So basically, he's this Parks and Rec character as Jack Frost. So it's Chris Pratt as this Parks and Rec character, Andy as Jack Frost. So the important thing with this movie is to make sure that these characters all feel like actors playing characters playing characters. So that's or else the whole movie's stupid. So you have your big race at the end. Randy Orton loses his Krampus. He goes off into the shadows in shame. Any kids that were RKO'd prior to this get extra presents from Diesel Claus. And Diesel Claus. That could be the Frost and the Flurrious too. The return of Diesel Claus. Man, I think this could be a series. I think this could be one of the greatest Christmas movies ever. And like, it's important too that Dominic not really smile, but at the end, every time he hands out a present, on that present written right there, it's all about family. It's all about family, and you have to have that moment at the end where all the main characters are all sitting around, maybe in Santa's workshop. And Santa reaches out, puts his arm around Tyrese, around Tej, and says, "It's really all about family, isn't it, boys?" And then they get to work on, souping up the sleigh for the next year and what they're going to add to it and everything. Because you got to do sequels, right? So there you go. The Frost and the Flurrious. I think this can work. I think this movie would. I think with what I want to do here, the budget's around $350 million. So considering the budget is whatever you spend on the movie, and then usually your advertising budget is half of what the budget was for the movie. So it only has to make a little over $500 million before it breaks even. But I think this is $1 billion movie. I think this works. So yeah, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Yeah, absolutely. This is the video. This is the video. This is the idea I had, and I'm going with it. And yeah, and this is the kind of movie that for people who don't really enjoy Christmas, this is gonna work. I think this can bring in people who want to watch Christmas movies and people who really don't. Because you'll be like, this seems oddly terrible, and I can't look away. I have to watch this movie. I have to watch it from start to finish. And I think this would be the best Fast and Furious movie ever, even though it's not a Fast and the Furious movie, it's a Frost and the Flurrious movie. But there you go. I apologize again for the title. I apologize for wasting your time if you feel like your time was wasted today. But it's an idea I had, and this is how the War of 1812 thing on the main channel started. It was just this silly thing ramble that I did. I was like, hey, I could really draw that out. And so here we are, Frost and the Flurrious. Let me know your ideas. Let me know what Christmas movie you think could be ridiculous. Which cast would you like to see playing Santa Claus in all these roles? And why is it The Godfather, right? I mean, I thought about doing like a Goodfellas type thing, but that seems a little more dated and not quite as much fun. But Joe Pesci is Santa Claus. We all want to see that, don't we? So yeah, maybe I'll do a video on 10 actors that would be great to see as Santa Claus. Maybe even 10 pairings, Santa and Mrs. Claus, that we think would be fantastic. Why would Danny DeVito work as Santa Claus? That kind of thing. So let me know your thoughts in the comment section below as always. And again, have yourself wonderful holidays, no matter how you do or don't celebrate them. And yeah, don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.